Hello everyone and welcome back to Mr. Sensible. Are you ready for some more flurf fumduckery? Today, at last, I'm going to have to be having a look at Mr. Donny of Daytona. I've been waiting for this one. Donny, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey, thank you for joining me, Donny, for Head TV. And I got a spectacular, rare moon footage video for you.
Wow, we look forward to seeing that in a second, Donny. Before we do, I hope you don't mind, I'd just like to say thank you to my amazing patrons. My most excellent patrons: Andrew Smith, Bernard Godfrey, David Cooley, Elizabeth Schneider, Frank Kelly, Frederick Sigard, Gary Tompkins, John Calvin Hobbs, Mick Farnham, Mitch Goldstein, Poison Toad, Roy Fraser, Simon D, Steve Pleggy, Sisyphus and Touchpad. Thank you all so very much. Okay, Donny, off you go.
We're going to show you the video, let you analyze it for a second, then we're going to break it down in the second half. So without further ado, check this out.
Excellent. You seem pleased, Donny. You seem confident. I look forward to your technical analysis. Go on. Rare lunar footage. Wow. Okay, Donny, there's the moon rising, brightly lit on one side. What's rare? That's the same clip, mate. So that is your rare lunar footage. I think you better give us your technical breakdown of what's happening.
That bottom half of the moon, how bright it's lit. Now, if this is the bottom, the Earth, this is the sky, the sun is below the horizon line in the globe Earth model.
Well, Danny, it appears that you at least have a partial idea of the globe Earth model, although I think the sun would be sort of closer to just past 6 o'clock position. But no, that's cool. Go ahead.
At this current time, this moon rose 2 hours before the sun. So, the theory of globers is that this sun is bouncing its rays off the Earth onto the moon, creating this bright section.
No, Donny, I'm afraid you're totally wrong. That bright area, the bright half of the moon, is the half of the moon that is in direct sunlight. You've got the moon up there, you've got the sun somewhere down here, shining up, bottom half is lit up. Okay, carry on.
Well, then how is this section getting lit?
Now, Donny, that part of the moon, the part that is not in direct sunlight, is the part of the moon that is receiving some light reflected off the Earth, known as Earthshine.
My theory is that visibility and timing was just right, that these two items, the sun and the moon, were close enough together that the light from the sun not only bounced off the Earth and lit the bottom half of the moon, but the light from the sun bounced off the dome and lit the top half of the moon.
No, Danny, that's not a theory. That's something that you just pulled out your butt that you happen to find of interest. We're not talking about highfalutin physics here. We're not talking string theory. We're not talking alternative universes and all that sort of thing. We're talking about two objects, a light and the moon. Sorry, the sun and the moon. And the light from the sun lights half the moon. This really isn't hard, Donny. And what's with the scribble? It's starting to look like pasta all over your image.
Obviously not as bright because the light is traveling further, hitting a reflective surface further away than the Earth, and then creating a backlight to light that second half of the moon.
On your model, the sun and the moon must be within the dome. Just how big is this dome if the light from the sun starts to fade just in the course of travelling to the dome and reflecting back off the moon?
Did you know that a lot of arguments say that that curve you see right here is the curve of the Earth?
No, Donny, none of the arguments say that, none at all. What you're thinking of is when there is an eclipse of the moon, which is the Earth's shadow passing over it. The shadow of the Earth, obviously, can be seen passing over the moon, and it is a curve, because it's a globe.
My venture to say that that curve that you see right there, if the light is reflecting off of the Earth, that curve is coming from the dome.
Danny, I think the only dome you should be worried about is the top of your head. Has it received a large knock recently?
Why is it that any detectable curve you can see with your eyes isn't on the ground you stand on, but the curve you see is described or evident in the sky alone?
The moon is a lot smaller than us, and it's 250,000 miles away. The Earth is rather larger than the moon, and you're stood on the bloody thing. Just how do you think you're going to see the curve?
Red alert, red alert, red alert, red alert.
When you look up to the sky, you see rainbows, evidence of a curved dome above the Earth. So not only does rainbows prove a reflective dome above the Earth, but I believe that this rare moon footage does the exact same thing.
Danny, just no.
I could be completely wrong,
No kidding, Danny.
but perception is reality.
Perception is not reality. Your eyes are easily deceived.
So my version of the truth,
Well, my version of the truth is that when Mrs. Sensible's not looking, I'm going away for a hot weekend with Kylie Minogue to Marbella. Unfortunately, you're not entitled to your own version of the truth. Truth is or isn't. Facts are or are not. There are no alternative facts.
makes me whole. If it makes me a better person in how I treat people and conduct my life as a human being, then that is significant truth.
Okay, Donny, let's try and explain this to you. You've got the moon, which has risen some distance above the horizon. So we have the horizon line of the Earth down here. Somewhere below that horizon is the sun, and its rays of light are shining up towards the moon. The top half of the moon is in shadow because it's on the other side from the sun. So you've got this line, this terminator line between it, you see. So that's the separation between the day side of the moon and the night side. As the sunlight comes up, strikes the moon. I hope that's clear. Hope it makes you happy.
But if it's not your truth, have some respect for humanity and just move on.
Donny, I will have some respect for the fact that you've spouted this rubbish in a calm and measured way without insulting others. But that's all. Your theory can receive no respect at all. It's utter rubbish that you could debunk with a ball and a torch. It's like saying the sky is green. You have respect for my view that the sky is green. But it bloody isn't. Danny, please read a book. Something like Astronomy for Toddlers. Until next time, stay sensible. Grrr, arr.
Shut up and sit down.